Hello viewers, I am Dr. Kamal Bhattacharya, Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, Motherhood University, Roorkee, Uttarakhand. I welcome you to this session of the class on research and publication ethics. This class is especially meant for the PhD students who are pursuing coursework. So I would like to describe this subject, ethics and publication, uh, with, uh, uh, with a compact idea. Okay, so I will discuss with introduction. I will give introduction and authorship. What is authorship? Who is author? Okay, and what is the competing interests? Okay, what is the competing or what are the competing interests? Plagiarism, different types of plagiarisms. Okay, simultaneous submission, research fraud. Okay, research fraud, and salami slicing. Okay, and I will try to make it a compact one, especially because the subject is actually uh, intangible one, because since ethics is involved, so ethics is an intangible conception subject like philosophy, because it is a part of philosophy. So as we know that before I start, I would like to categorically discuss, tell you the three things that we often use as a term: ethics, values and morality. Okay, ethics, values and morality, and we hardly make any difference among the three. However, if you go for the dictionary wise definition, say for Oxford dictionary, uh, you will also see that there is a hairline division, and hardly the divisions are perceptible. So, however, in general, and for the transcendental knowledge, okay, there are basically two types of knowledge. One is transcendental, that comes from time to time, and one is empirical, okay, that sits on top. Ethics is, remember, ethics is nothing but a code of conduct or codes of conduct. Okay, it is codes of conduct, and ethics changes from place to place, from subject to subject. There is ethics of medical science. The doctor used to take the oath, okay, Hippocratic oath. There are ethics norms for the engineers, for the scientists. There are ethics for publication, writers. So whenever you are doing something which is related to the, the, the life of public, okay, so the codes will come in your way. So ethics is a code of conduct, and then morality and values. Values are actually imbibed by our parental teachings, by our religion, by our friends, philosophers and guides, relatives. These are values. And morality is choosing between the two, between evil and good. Okay, so if you want to feed a street dog or you want to kick it, so that is morality, how morally you can work. So this is, you have to keep it mind. Okay, so let us start. This is the, because whatever I have discussed, it is the basic of every field of ethics. Okay. Okay, so now when you are going to start your career as a writer, as a researcher, as an author, okay, uh, your conduct, your code of conduct must be uh, very important for you as well as for others. Okay, plagiarism, research fraud, undisclosed competing interests. Undisclosed competing interest means I will not say, I will hide that what I am going to do with this data that can be threatened for you in future. Okay, because I have already discussed these things when I was teaching you. So after the 3 years or 4 years work, when you will come to this particular foray, and you will see that all your works are nothing but a wastage of time. Okay, and rejected, and you will be nowhere. Okay, so it is with the mind that the ethics and research, ethics in research and publication program, okay, is conducted for the PhD students, so that they remain aware of what they are going to do. Okay, so first let us start with the authorship. First point is authorship. Who is the author? Who is an author? However, there is no such universal or consensus complete definition who is an author. So an author is somebody who has some contribution to the academics. Okay, to the academics. So this is an author. According to the guidelines for authorship established by the International Committee of Medical Journal Editors, okay, ICMJE, International Committee of Medical Journal Editors, it says all persons designated as author should qualify for authorship, and all those who qualify should be listed. So if you are writing something and you are quoting some data, some lines from my book, my research, so you must quote my name. Okay, 4 criteria must be credited as an author. Okay, 4 criteria. Number 1, substantial contribution to the study, conception, design, data, analysis and interpretation. Okay, these are the these areas are the author's areas. Okay, if I have provided you, or you are taking something from my data, and that data is created by me or written by me, you must give me the credit. Number 1. Number 2, drafting or revising the article for intellectual content. So if you have given me something to read and request me, sir, please go through it and give me your opinion, or you can correct it. So after that you must give me the credit. Okay. Number 3, the approval of the final version, and whoever checks your copies, he must be also credited. And the last one, agreement to be accountable for all aspects. So agreement means whenever you are going to finalize your writing, maybe a book, maybe not, maybe something which is related to research. maybe a novel, maybe an essay, okay, maybe a prose, whatever it is, for the final one, agreement with all those people who were in your life during the journey of your writing, they must be consulted and they must be credited for their contribution. Okay. So now I am giving you the guidelines. The guidelines, however, these guidelines may vary from field to field. Okay. So the following are some general guidelines I am going to give you. Remember it, you can write it down. Okay. Otherwise, you can see this video. The order of authorship should be a joint decision of the co-authors. When it is a matter of co-author or co-authors, when you are writing something and another 2-3 authors are also involved in the same book, so you must sit together, decide, not a single sitting, but you may have to sit multiple times, okay, and you must develop a consensus before you go for master copy, final printout. Individuals who are involved in the study but don't satisfy the journal's criteria of the authorship should be listed as contributors or acknowledged individually. Okay. So those who are not writing something, suppose you have written a book and I have given you some information from different authors, different times, different place. I am not an author, I am not writing anything, but I have provided you the information. So that should be, I should also be given that credit, and my name should be contributors, who has or who have contributed to your writings. Okay, you cannot deny me. Okay. For large multi-center trials, very for multiple copies, okay. So all authors, those who have contributed, must be acknowledged, okay. Okay, now there are 3 types of authorship. They are not should be accepted as authors, okay. There are ghost authors who contribute substantially but are not acknowledged, often paid by commercial sponsors, okay. Those who are not only not academically for intellectual purpose, education purpose, they have given something, but when they are paid and they have contributed, so paid authors are called ghost authors, okay. They should not be mentioned in your research paper, book, thesis, etc. Okay, ghost authors, remember. Number 2, guest authors, okay. Those who you have invited and you have invited to write, invited them to write one paragraph or a page or on a particular topic, they must be mentioned, but there should not be any money involved. And number 3, gift authors, whose contribution is based solely on a tenuous affiliation with a study. Gift authors, okay, means those who are very rare and very popular, okay. So when they are coming to write for you, they are gift authors, okay. So when not properly or appropriately addressed authorship issue, who is a ghost author, and you have mentioned their names, that is unethical. It is unethical. Okay, can lead to dispute, and some dispute even may come to the rejection of your thesis. Okay, some dispute may come to the rejection of your thesis. So be very careful about when you are dealing with authorship. If a complaint is filed against you, so you have to defend yourself that why you have taken the design, the color, the words, copy and paste word. Okay, you have to defend it. Okay, so there are different type of guidelines to authorship dispute and how to prevent them, how you can prevent yourself from this type of vague, false and alleged contribution. Okay, so for example, misinterpretation, okay, of something, some writer's topic, deliberate misinterpretation. Okay, so if you have done it, then you must be answerable. You must be answerable. So let me just give you an example. For example, misinterpreting a scientist's relationship to their work. An author, not only science, but a historian, okay, a man who studies literature. What is it actually? Listing name the people who took little or no part in the research. For example, I am your boss in the college, university, and my subject, your subject is same. Okay, so I tell you that you are writing something, please mention my name. This is unethical for my part. It may not be for your part, because you might be under pressure, or you might be not any position to defend, okay, or deny or reject these requests. It often happens across the globe. Okay, so listing names of people who took little or no part in the research, omitting names of people who did take part, or those who have written, those who have contributed, and if you have got some bad relation with them and you are omitting, deleting his or her or their names, that is unethical. Okay, so it is unethical. So what you should do? You should review the journal instructions. Remember, for science you must follow the API index, and for humanities MLA index pattern. Okay, so these patterns you go and find out what is it is and how to do all these things. Every journal has their own set of rules. You cannot deviate, yourself cannot deviate from the rules. Okay, go through the rules before you submit or before you start writing something. You should know the journal properly. You should know you should have the know-how of the journal statistics, journal's impact, journal's rules and regulations. Okay, so these are the action you can do when misinterpreting. Okay, misinterpreting. About ghost authors, this usually refers to the professional writers. Okay, so you should not acknowledge them. not acknowledging writer's contribution considered, because they are already paid. If you have paid me, then you need not to put my name. Okay. Okay. So, what you should do? You should consult your author, your other authors, co-authors, your guide, and do accordingly with the norms, rules and regulations of the journal where you are going to submit your writings. Okay. So, for today I think the 20 minutes video will be too long for you. In the next part I will discuss the remaining portion of the research and publication ethics. For the day, have a good day. Thank you for listening and joining.